First of all, thank you for inviting us. We're feeling honored to being interviewed for this matter. And my name is Michael Arlt. I have been working for more than 30 years in the chemical pharmaceutical industry, and I am the chair of the Division of Analytical Chemistry of the German Chemical Society.
I also would like to thank you for this opportunity, talking to you and for the interview. Appreciate this a lot. My name is Björn Meermann, and I am the head of the Division Inorganic Trace Analysis at the Federal Institute for Materials Research and Testing in Berlin. And I'm also associated to the University of Freiberg, giving lectures there and things like this.
So what we're seeing in Germany and in Europe right now is a globalization of production processes. BASF is opening their production facility in China. It's a 10 billion investment very soon. However, what we also know from experience is that even if you produce abroad, when you're importing products, you still need analytical chemistry as a kind of a quality control. So I really see analytical instrument as vital for the chemical industry in Europe and in Germany in particular.
Yeah, as you mentioned already, I think there are two lines that we need to face challenges. One are the application line, and the other one is a more global line, I would say. What we are facing up to now is a transformation of our society and economy from a linear one to a circular economy. So this brings a lot of challenges also to the analytical chemistry sciences. So we have to develop new instrumentations, we have to set up new methods, we have to face with new matrices, especially when you analyze recycling materials, then you have to completely set up new applications. And on the other hand, you have detailed applications, especially from the environmental part. As you mentioned already, PFAS is one. And further environmental substances that are out there that are harmful to the environment. We have to take care. Also in the circular economy area, safe and sustainable by design materials are playing a major role in the future. And what I also see is the clinical applications and medicinal applications. This is something that pops up, especially in elemental analytics, more and more a shift to the life sciences.
When you're asking what is gaining the most scientific attention when it comes to science, I believe that the hyphenation of different methods is gaining more and more momentum. And as an example, there is really fascinating work out there where eye mobility spectroscopy, mass spectrometry, and IR spectroscopy are being hyphenated with each other, and it's fascinating to see what is coming out of this. And the key for doing this is that the components are being able to be connected to each other. And that is one point there that we're coming later to. Yes, it's true. The Division of Analytical Chemistry of the GDCh has a mission to bring together late-stage students and possible employers. And we have a multitude of different means to do that. At foremost, we're organizing a conference every 2 years, which is the Anacon. It's alternating between the Analytica conference and the Anacon. And that brings together about 600 attendees from the German-speaking countries, from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. The Analytica conference, I'm not sure if you attended some of the lectures, that is also organized by the Division of Analytical Chemistry. We have several congresses for PhD students and postdocs that are even more specialized within analytical chemistry. For example, atomic spectroscopy, separation science, and things like this. And one of the flagships of the division is what we call the Spring School of Analytical Chemistry in Industry. That's where we invite about 30 top students from all over in Germany and where industry chemists are giving lectures about their work in industry. And at the end of this course, everybody writes a test, and the people who are passing the test are invited to spend 2 to 4 month internship within the companies, and that is fantastic.
The only thing maybe that I can add is that the people that are in the head of the division are coming pathwise from academia and from industry.
True.
So also there we merge. So we have people coming from Merck or from BASF or from instrumental suppliers, Agilent in this case. But there are also people coming from universities. So like me, I'm from a research institute, and we have further colleagues coming from pristine universities. And also there we try to keep it equal and to showcase that industry and academia goes alongside.
We've discussed that and came up with a few bullet points that we think are important. And one important point is imaging technologies. They are increasing their resolution. So, you get finer pictures of the things you're interested in. And that will bring major breakthroughs, because nowadays you can look into cells. You can look even in microenvironments within a cell, and that is further increasing. Multi-imaging is getting better resolutions, and that will bring a lot of new information in terms of imaging. But for single cells, also you can inject single cells in ICP-MS, and that's your special field.
Yeah, I can leave a few words on this. That's right, what Michael said, and in addition, of course, single entity analysis, single cell, single particle, ICP-MS. There was a big breakthrough when the ICP-TOF-MS was developed. I mean, it traces back already to Gary Hifty, for example, but there was a breakthrough from TOF-work a while ago, and the ICP-TOF-MS popped up again as a renaissance. And with this, you have multi-elemental information on a single entity. There are also further suppliers that provide ICP-TOF-MS, for example. But what is also, especially in the environmental analytics, important is non-target analytical approaches. With high-res MS, this is something that pops up since a few years, and it's still under development. Although many groups are working on it, but there are still issues with data handling due to the broad information that you get out of it. And what Michael mentioned already in the beginning, complementary approaches. So when you combine different techniques with each other, which is of particular importance, because due to the complex situation of the samples, you need to combine different techniques to come up with information that help you to get something out of it.
Because what also plays an important role, I think, is the miniaturization of components. If I just take the simple example of mass spectrometry, when I was a student, which is a long time ago, a mass spectrometer, had the size of these 2 tables and chairs. And nowadays you can stack a mass spectrometer under an HPLC, because it's like a shoebox. And if you look at laser technology, the example I described before, the combination between ion mobility, mass spectrometry, and IR spectroscopy, when I first read about that, I went to the professor and said, wow, that's fantastic, you can do great things with it. Then he explained to me that the IR spectrometer had the size of a house.
So big, huge.
Yes. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago, and now they've increased the energy for the IR lasers, and now the IR spectrometers, they fit within a room. And if that continues like this, these things will at one point maybe even portable. And these developments, they will shape also how analytics is going to be used.
And in the meantime, we asked ChatGPT to... No, just kidding. Yeah, as said already, complementary approaches are of enormous importance. And I want to make this a bit more clearer again on the single cell and single particle application. As said, ICP-TOF-MS came up with a breakthrough especially driven by the nanoparticle questions. And as said, TOFWERK, and in conjunction with the ETH, Detlef Günther's group, they developed, they brought the ISP of TOFMS at the forefront again. And with this, you collect tremendous amounts of data. And with complementary approaches, you collect even more tremendous amount of data. And to bring in a structure and to assess these data and to make alignments between these data, this is not possible anymore with just Excel sheets. So you need more specialized and custom designed software for this, and you need AI-based networks to bring the data into something that is of valid. And if you then focus on new application fields, as mentioned already from the clinical or medicinal field, you need to get more out of the data. In the end, you want that based on the data, you can decide if somebody has a disease or not. And to bring this into something that is of valid, you need these new powerful tools to get something out of it.
Another aspect is if the important information is contained in one data point, for example, for a batch release, when you have a product that you would like to sell, then I think the use of AI will be somewhat limited. But if you are dealing with large data sets, in imaging, for example, or if many data points are playing a role, if you want to, for example, if you would like to discover trends or abnormalities within data sets, there I think AI will play a very important role.
Yeah, actually.
And I also think that AI will play a more pronounced role in routine labs that are fulfilling very similar kind of assays day by day, hour by hour. There, when you look at automation, AI will play an important role. For a dedicated research lab, I think AI will have also, value, of course, but it will be less pronounced. In terms of instrument manufacturing, I think China is a rising power. I think they're coming. You can also see that here in the exhibition. And I think that researchers are generally curious, and I think that people would be happy to try out new instrument platforms and compare them with each other, for example. That I think is well possible. What you have to consider is how tight the collaboration will be. It's still 7,000 kilometers away. That makes collaborations somewhat cumbersome. So it has to be worth the effort. But in general, I don't see a general obstacle for collaborations. I think people are curious and would like to try things.
I think it's, as Michael said, an intrinsic nature of a scientist to figure out new things, and we're really curious to see what colleagues from China come up with. I mean, in the elemental analytics, there are a lot of nice and good collaborations between outstanding scientists from China and from Europe or from Germany. This is already running, and I'm really looking forward what comes up from producers, instrument producers from China.
There are two different kind of questions that are in general being asked. There's one group of scientists who would like to get the results, because they have very specific questions. When you're in quality control, for example, you're asking, are the specifications met, yes or no? And there is another group of scientists, and here's one example, that those are people who are pushing instruments and methods to their limits. And those are two fundamentally different. And I'm curious to see how those two groups will be responding to the offers that are coming from China.
Yeah, well, I also the third pillar that is important. As I mentioned in the beginning, we are facing really big challenges which are from global impact, especially where will our raw materials come from in the next decades. I think we have to shift to more recycling options and things like this. So this is a challenge that the whole world is facing. It's not just a European problem. It's a Chinese and American. It's a global problem.
Globally,
And I think we can only answer these questions and come up with suitable methods by strong collaborations that are not only facing economic interests, that are also facing the future of the next generations. So therefore, I think it will become a global challenge that we can only answer if we collaborate in this regard, I would say.